Thanks for tuning into the Adam Carolla Show. You can watch the full show on YouTube. Just search Adam Carolla Show and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also get the podcast wherever you like to listen. And for extra content, ad-free episodes, and more, you can head over to our Substack and sign up today.
Hello, and welcome to Pluto Phone. If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, just stream it for free on Pluto TV, where all your blockbuster favorites are landing all summer long. Catch Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Fantastic.
The Matrix Trilogy.
Welcome to the real world.
Mean Girls.
Shut up.
Titanic.
I'm the king of the world.
And so much more. For showtimes, press nothing. They're free 24/7.
That is so fetch.
On Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the choice. We're going to mandate you get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. Manny Varas is joining me. Manny and I, well, we seem to have a lot in common. He just got back from Pebble Beach. I just got back from Pebble Beach. He likes building. He's a contractor. I don't know. Are you technically a contractor?
I am. I am a licensed general contractor for 20 years.
And builds incredible homes for very interesting people. And there's some crossover between the whole car culture and the homes as well. And it's something I'd heard about, but I didn't know you were involved with it. So tell me.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for having me on. We've been focused on building for billionaires in the last 2 years. We've seen a huge transition of billionaires from California relocating to Florida. Mm-hmm. We currently have about $1 billion in real estate under construction, primarily for a lot of known celebrities, a lot of known names. And for the first time now, we're introducing the reverse engineering of a home by introducing a Pininfarina designed home, the first time in a century, where an automotive brand creator has been able to transcend into luxury living, and we're doing limited edition 6 homes, completely designed, built, and furnished by Pininfarina without a lot. So anywhere in America, they submit the lot to us, we approve it, and we provide the turnkey project.
So they're a design house, Italian, responsible for all the great Italian automobiles you love so much. I mean, I'm not an expert. You'll see it written Pininfarina on the side of a Ferraris and other cars, but they're designers.
Correct. So if you look at every LaFerrari or every Alfa Romeo Duetto, basically almost every supercar created by Ferrari, they were the designer of each one of those supercars.
Yes. I mean, starting in the 50s?
It's 96 years ago.
Oh, so we're going back to the 40s. And then before, yeah. Wow, yeah. So they're responsible for all the greatest designs ever in automotive world, and now they're going to take their talents to the construction world or to the single family home world. Yes, and you're going to be executing that.
Correct. So I went to them. I was going to do it with Giorgio Armani a few years back. I wanted to reverse engineer the process of a tailor-made turnkey home. Unfortunately, we did Giorgio's first project in the U.S. in Florida, and then we were going to do a custom home, a reverse-engineered, fully designed product with Giorgio Armani. He got sick, unfortunately, and passed, and we weren't able to do it with him. So with Pininfarina being the iconic brand, we thought of creating iconic homes, 1 per city, 6 homes, and the lot is submitted to us, and then we approve it, each one individually.
The space. And are they going to vary a lot in size, or is that just kind of predetermined?
It's predetermined. It's 8,000 square feet, and it's 6 homes that the exterior will be really collectible artwork. So each one of those homes will be 1 per city.
So 8,000 is a good size to go, well, this is a big home, but it's not so big that it's kind of unwieldy or something. But it's definitely a lot of luxury can be squeezed into 8,000 square feet?
Exactly. 8,000 square feet fits once in a 20,000 square foot lot, so it's a reasonable sized lot. And you're able to have 5 bedrooms, comfortable living spaces, but it's not enormous. So you don't have 10, 12, 15, 20,000, which becomes a little bit unreasonable and unmanageable, especially it's going to be a second or third home.
You've been building since what year?
2005. I received my GC license.
Is it a family thing? Is that something
No,
you started off with?
I started myself. I got my general contractor's license at 24 years old. I'm 46 now, and I started just doing small apartments. So I was doing a lot of the work myself. Actually, one of my first projects was a government housing project where it was $10,000 a unit in one of the most violent areas in the country. I was in Miami during that time, called Liberty Square Apartments. And I got the bid because no one else bid on it because they were scared to go into the area.
We definitely get your tools stolen.
Yeah, we definitely had the copper of the AC stolen. We had the tools stolen.
Lots of having to replace Makita cordless drills.
100%.
That much I can tell you. Manny's featured on the cover of Architectural Digest as well. They got Rick Rubin's house on there. $100 million mansion. Also built for the Bezos family, so you're at the top of the food chain. I want to take a look at this Pininfarina thing. I think we had like kind of a sizzle reel or something for it because I'm fascinated because I'm a car guy, and when I was on my way to Pebble Beach on Wednesday, when you were on your way to Pebble Beach, I was hearing about these homes, and I was going, "Oh, that sounds excellent."
It's very exciting. We just announced it this week, and we announced it on Saturday, and it's going to be the first time in U.S. history that we intersect automotive design into homes.
And are they sort of drawing it up and then you are executing it?
Correct.
And they're not engineering it and pulling permits and stuff like that.
We are handling all of the pre-construction, final selections, but they are a design lead on exterior, interior, furniture, kitchen, and all the way turnkey.
All the surfaces, all
every single
counters,
item.
Flooring, everything.
Every single item.
Interesting. And you're not building it for a specific customer, or are you, or is it spec? And then how much say does the customer have?
The customer is only able to modify interior layouts if they want to divide rooms because of their own family. They have no option to modify the exterior whatsoever. So far, out of the 6 allocations that we're providing, we have about 40 requests from buyers that want to be. So we're really going to be very selective where it's going to be within the country.
Right. So you're doing this, and they go, "We're going to use this white quartz for tops in the kitchen," and the wife says, "I hate white quartz." Is she going to be able to modify that?
If it's one selection, it'll be for up to brand approval. But if it's something specific, generally the modifications are going to be very limited.
All right, let's look at this sizzle.
Road on the water, created in partnership with NV Group.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you.
That's so cool. How long does it take you to do 8,000 square foot home like that? I know there's a lot of variables, but
So pre-construction, specifically in Florida, is about a 6-month process in order to go through design and permitting, and about 18 months in order to build. So we've procured, we front load everything with procuring everything on the front end, and then the execution of phase 1, meaning structure up to piles, structure, framing, drywall, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, being about 12 months, and then interior finishes concurrently about 6 to 12. So the total process is generally 24 months.
ever tried to build anything in California?
Well, California is a special place.
Yes,
Have not built in California, but I'm very intrigued about the issues that they have constantly with regards to the pre-construction process. I know they just approved AB 253, which was allowing third-party reviewers to review plans to try to expedite it, but then they made a huge mistake with it by saying you're only able to have a third-party reviewer if we don't get our process right. So you waste 6 months or a year or two, and then you're able to do it. Whereas in Florida, you can execute it immediately.
Well, they don't like people who do things here. It agitates them. It really does. I grew up with these people. They didn't like people who moved and built and constructed and invented, and They just didn't like it. My mom was one of these hippie women, and it's like she couldn't. It literally bothered her to see people doing stuff around her. And the entire city of Los Angeles and state of California is the same. They look at people who want to do things as sort of agitators, and what they'd like is to basically be left alone and get paid to do whatever it is they're not really doing. All right, so yeah, I mean, we were just both in Monterey, and as you're walking up and down the lawn, you're seeing all the priceless automobiles that are out there, one more beautiful than the next. I sort of realized, like, this is humanity at its best. And then there's, the Middle East and human trafficking and, terrorist groups, and that's humanity at its worst, right? So there's like a humanity at its worst. Like, what is it? Well, this terrorist group abducted a bunch of 14-year-old girls and burnt them alive in a cage or something. So that's the bottom of humanity.
Yes.
And then the top is like Pebble Beach, because it's the greatest creations ever in terms of these automobiles. But then all of them are restored by a group of people that get the car, take it apart, meticulously label everything, and then all the different disciplines. There's the upholstery guy, there's the chroming guy, there's the nickel finish plating guy, there's the paint guy, there's a guy rebuilding the engine, another guy's rebuilding a transmission. Those are two separate guys. Like, all their specialties, like what you do when you build, now coming back together, building, saying, classical music is playing, people are strolling, they're enjoying themselves, everyone has behaved, the setting is magical. And you sort of look at it and you go, it could be this way. Yeah. It could be this way. Gaza could be this, but they won't do it. They won't tolerate it, but we could have this.
100%. I think it's because you have a group of people that are all incredibly productive, that want to create real works of art. And then you have other groups that are trying to, push those people away. So, even right now, recently with the California wealth tax, the amount of influx of both billionaires and high-level executives, and then followed by the hundreds of employees relocating to Florida, and a lot of the projects that we're doing is just enormous. So, I mean, we're doing over $1 billion in real estate value of just relocations from California and or New York.
Yes, they're just going to drive all the earners out because they don't like them. I mean, they don't say it, but they don't like them. And it's interesting why. Maybe it's just shame. Maybe they've shamed them because they're not successful, and these people are. I just spent the week with some of the most successful people in the world. Truly. I mean, the guy, Jim Farley, Chris Farley's cousin, he runs Ford.
Yep.
Talked to him for a long time. I talked to a large group of people that were, well, let's put it this way. Some of these guys own one car that's worth more than your entire family's net worth times 5 generations. I know at least the Carollas. They're first off, they're interesting guys. I bring my son with me, and they always take some time. They remember his name, and they go, Sonny, how's it going? Last time you were talking about going to Oregon. Are you still going? So I was like, what's this billionaire got? What's he care about this pea shooter over here for? But that's what they learned. They go, I'm going to take the time. I'm going to be super gracious. I'll memorize everyone's name, and I'll talk to them about something like personal that I remember from last time they were here. They're super friendly, which is weird because it's always been that weird 80s version of the rich guy. Would you have some more Grey Poupon? No. Laid back, car guys, love hearing the stories, friendly as shit, humble, self-deprecating.
I totally agree with you. So a lot of the billionaires that, and we were with dozens of them this week, is care about interacting and about people's success and about kids and about being able to create and wealth and jobs and everything that comes in between. When you're rebuilding a car, the amount of jobs and companies that you build, you're really effectively creating an ecosystem of value. And that's the same thing you're doing when you're doing a home. I was analyzing a $10 million house that we were building, and we're procuring $10 million in goods and services. That's going to affect over 100 to 200 families between jobs, products, goods, and it's really creating ecosystems. And if you bring that from the car industry to the home industry, you're extrapolating that you're creating financial ecosystems that could build people, build families, and create success as opposed to driving them away, which is what some cities are doing. But in Florida and Texas, we're reaping a lot of the benefits of it.
So there's a couple things as we get back. You were there for the weekend. I was there for the weekend. To auction stuff. Some of these car values are going insane. And they're just, you can put it to you this way. If you know something about cars, you'll talk to a guy, and I have. I think Zach Brown, the team principal at Senna, runs the Senna F1 team and part of the Indy team. And a good dude, hung out with him. He was at the track racing, blah, blah, blah. But I think I've talked to that guy. But here's how you'll know. You know it with real estate. He'll go, I got a Ferrari 288 GTO. And I'll go, oh, when did you get that car? Oh, God, maybe 2010, 2012 or something. So I just go in my head. I just go, spent $2 million for that car.
Exactly.
And then you see one hammer at $11 million this weekend, and you go, someone just made $9 million. Stuff was going batty berserk. But just so you guys know, the car I always talk about, which was the biggest seller of the weekend. Now, I think there was a charity car that sold, but the charity car that sells for $45 million, that's just because a super high roller needs to ride off $45 million.
Exactly. It's actually the Ferrari Luce, which Herbert Wortham bought for $40 million. I'm shocked that went for that number.
They just want to sign. They need a tax write-off.
Exactly.
But it was the Daytona that Brock designed. Speaking of designers, Brock's a designer too, and Brock's a friend of mine. So I talked to him the night of the auction. Before the auction, we stood in front of the car that was supposed to be, the estimate was $25 million. But here's the story, and we'll put this up, but at some point I'll give you the long version of this. But this is Pete Brock, 90, legendary designer. I raced his cars over the weekend. I was racing his BRE, Brock Racing Enterprises cars. But here's a story he tells about the very first, by the way, Daytona, Shelby Daytona. There are 6 of them. This one that just sold is not the highest value one out there. You would probably like number 1. And here's the story he's telling about number 1, which is privately owned right now.
We took the car to Bonneville and we set 23 international FIA records with the car.
Yeah.
It's just, this is the old race car. We just put a new motor in it, put on some fresh tires, and set all these FIA records on it. So the car came back from Bonneville, and it's covered with salt, and it was so rough out there because they had to run out in the dirt part of it.
Right.
And the car, the doors were falling off, the headlights were coming out. The thing was a total trash. So Shelby came down and looked at it, and he says, anybody want to buy this car? I'll sell it to you. You can have it. Oh, $800.
$800. $42,905 with the VIG. So this thing sold for $43 million. But back in, 1967, Carroll Shelby could not give that car away for $800. Crazy, right?
It is. And it's about creating value, right? He also took the car, kept updating it, continued to create value in it, and having anything that's rare really creates value. Sometimes people think of a car and they say, well, they spent money on this car. They really created an investment of that car. If it's the right car, that's limited, and same thing with a property.
Yeah, well, people, I hang around. I hang around. I mean, I come from dumb, poor people, and their whole thing is like, we've got to pay $1 million for a car. It's like some of the stuff we saw going across this weekend, Ferrari F50s, Ferrari F40s. I mean, $14, $15 million. half those guys paid $1 million for that stuff not that long ago.
It's true because you're seeing the trajectory of that property increasing or decreasing. And I think that's actually an issue on all values, because when you look at values of a house and you look at doing even a simple renovation, what someone should really think of is how much will the terminal value of this house be once I renovate it, therefore giving them the amount they should spend on the renovation, as opposed to thinking of the budget first.
Yeah, okay, so you're saying reverse engineer. So I'll give you an example.
Sure.
You go, well, we got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home in Sherman Oaks, and it's valued at $1.5 million. And then instead of going, how much budget do we have to put a master suite on in a 3rd bathroom, say, what if this house had a master suite, the 2-bed, now 3-bedroom, 3-bath, what would it be worth? And if the answer is, well, probably go from 1.5 to 1.850, then you got $350K to do that renovation.
Correct. And ideally create value within it. So, for example, if you have that house in Sherman Oaks for $1.5 million, and you have it's 2,000 square feet, and you're going to see another house and it's $2.5 million, and that's 3,500 square feet. And you say, I don't really want to add square footage. I don't need to do it. Well, you have to be able to make the decision, if you could reverse engineer, and do you want to create the value in between and make that spread? So you make the decision, say, well, if I added 1,000 square feet or 1,500 square feet, and that's going to cost me $500 a square foot, I'm going to spend $650,000. My $1.5 million house gives a total investment of $2.2, but I created $300,000 to $400,000 in terminal value. Do I want to make that decision or not? And you look at the opportunity cost of not making the decision, you're giving it away.
Right.
And the same with cars. You're able to get a car that you're going to redo and recreate, and then you're creating value. And the not making of the decision effectively makes you lose money.
On an equal but separate note, Tom Brady is not 6'4". He's listed everywhere as 6'4". I've never met the man, but I did at a party on Saturday night at Zach Brown's place, and Tom Brady's a giant. Have you ever been in the same room with Tom Brady?
I have not with Tom.
He is giant. He is giant. I'm not. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. I was there with a friend, and everybody's like, Tom Brady's giant. And I went up and talked to him for a while. I was leaning back and just talking straight up into the air. I'm 6'2". I was wearing boots. Okay, what is this a picture of? This is Tom Brady. Oh, Wayne Gretzky. Right. So wait a minute. Listen. I'm 6'2", and I'm wearing boots with like 1 1/8 inch heel or something on it. And I was talking to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is not 2 inches taller than me. Tom Brady is 4.5 to 5 inches taller than me. Like, I'm tall-ish, and I'm not used to standing around tall guys. He is fucking tall. Wait, show me that picture again. Sorry. Aaron Judge, 6'7". Tom Brady is not 6'4". It's listed everywhere as 6'4". I was standing in front of him talking to him for 20 minutes. There's a picture of me somewhere with him. We'll slug it in later. He is a huge guy, which no one gets. I know he plays a game with huge guys, and he's not known for being like that big a quarterback. He's a tall quarterback. I don't know why they put him at 6'4". It's probably a Tom Brady thing. He probably has a publicist that rounds him down. He is all of 6'6".
Wow.
He is so goddamn tall.
I didn't realize that.
I did not realize it either until I talked to him at this party, and he is way taller than I am. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm 6'2", and I'm wearing boots. So he's not supposed to be way taller than me. He's way taller. Good dude. I told him football, everything I learned from football. He said 100%. Everything you learn. Everything about discipline, everything about hard work. It's just everything you need to know. I think he knew me from the Man Show or whatever, but it was a fun time. Also, we went down to the Pebble Beach, and we're sitting in a suite overlooking the whole thing. And and there are drones because they're flying the drones over the top because they want to film this massive, unbelievable undertaking. It's beautiful cars as far as the eye can see, priceless cars.
Yes.
As far as the eye can see. And I literally mean priceless. Like, a lot of them are priceless. That they're sort of one of one and no one knows. They're flying drones. I don't know if you noticed this, but the seagulls were attacking the drone.
I did see that.
I took some film of it. It's a drone it's over the clubhouse, and these angry seagulls are going after it. And as it moves, they're going after it again. And I was thinking, here's the thought. You ready?
Okay.
I was thinking to myself the other day, how come dogs don't howl at sirens anymore? Because dogs used to howl when I was a kid and there was an ambulance going down the street. You hear all the neighborhood dogs. Like, ooh, they're probably all in the yard.
Yeah. And they became kind of immune to the sirens.
Right. Now, seagulls are dumb and they're mean, but drones are new. And they don't know what to make of these drones. They just see something in their airspace that kind of looks like a hovering bird, and they don't like it because they take it as a threat. Future generations of seagulls, I bet they'll be used to drones.
I would definitely agree.
You think these seagulls' grandkids will be like, it's a drone, but leave it alone? It's not. That's all it is. They'll know what it is.
I think so. The drones, though, when there was a lot of them, still worry me. Can you imagine being in Ukraine and seeing a drone?
Oh, my God.
It still crosses my mind. When I see all the drones filming, I know it's supposed to be safe, but it's unfortunate some parts of the world we don't have the same luxury.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing us all down. We were just enjoying the majesty of Pebble Beach, and now you had to talk about poor people in Ukraine being hunted by drones. What a bummer. The other thing I thought was funny, I don't know why I thought this was funny, but we were driving back to L.A. We go do the whole walk on Pebble and everything, and then somewhere around 3 or 4 o'clock, we got to head back to L.A. So we get in the car, we're going back to L.A., and we're going by Buttonwillow, where James Dean died. So James Dean famously, in his 550 Porsche, which we're trying to figure out what the value of that car would be today. James Dean's smashed car has never been found, but it was stolen. But he's driving to Buttonwillow in his 550 Porsche. He's got a German mechanic with him, and they're making a left, and the sun's going down, and a guy in a big Buick just goes sailing across and doesn't see him and kills James Dean immediately. And threw the mechanic like from the car, and he was injured and so on and so forth, but he lived. And this is a crash from 1955. But there's a story about, the thing being cursed, like the car was cursed or something, because the mechanic later moved back to Germany and was killed in a car crash as well in 1976, like 21 years later. But the thing that's funny is when you read the Wikipedia thing, it says, killed in an unrelated car crash. And it's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I think we waited 21 years and then went back to Stuttgart, and what? Then the guy in the Buick hunted him down? like he didn't have to put unrelated. We get it. People died in car crashes back then. Yeah, and then there was this whole thing about like somebody bought the engine from that car and put it in their race car, and then they died. Now, there's a lot of like lore and curses and stuff, but the real takeaway is people used to die. People died driving cars all the time.
Significantly more than now.
They died on the racetrack. They died driving in Stuttgart. Like, they just died doing stuff back then. So I don't know if it was a curse more than it was just life.
I think it was more than life than the curse.
So you built, Tom Brady's out in Miami.
He is.
You should probably build him a house.
His house is in Indian Creek. He actually had his next door neighbor, Jeff Sofer, who's the owner of Fontainebleau, who did his project. Otherwise, it would have been us.
So, man, is that guy tall. So the, let's see, a 4-speed transaxle. Yeah. They sold a transaxle from that car, was sold and Bring a Trailer, I think, for $400,000, like 5 years ago. But are there clients you realize in advance are too big a pain in the ass to deal with? Because building a home, it gets real personal at some point. Like, it is somewhere between hairdresser and gynecologist. And it's like, people can be tough, some of them.
So,
and that's if you're going to build a house for them, it's going to be a tough slog with a difficult person.
So we are pretty selective. We have about a 2-year waiting list of projects, because we only do projects $5 million and above. But I think it's that relationship and understanding the guidelines of the relationship. It's like, it's like same thing as going on a date. You want to be able, if you lay the groundwork that you're going to have, it's a mutual relationship. It's not just one-sided. And I think when someone's sometimes doing renovations, or there's just a lack of accountability by a lot of builders, and unfortunately contractors just don't want to be accountable for. They want to make excuses. So when you're able to not make excuses, you realize that a lot of times the delays and the problems in building are self-inflicted by the owners, not being able to make decisions, or not being able to fund something, or not being able to have the items. So for us, we make sure that it's laid out and it's a mutually beneficial relationship. We probably accept 2 out of 10 clients that come to us because they sometimes don't have the right budgets or right design.
What's the average per square foot for a medium sort of luxury home in your world to build?
So in my world, we break it up into a phase 1, which is up to drywall, and then phase 2, which is finishes. A waterfront house is about $800 a square foot up to drywall, and finishes could range between $250 to $1,000 a foot.
Right. So we're at, $1,050 or something to $1,800 or whatever a square foot.
Correct. $1,000 to $1,800, depending what your finishes are.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, but then the terminal value in them. So if you're doing a house in Star Island, for example, we just finished rapper Rick Ross's house on Star Island, and he purchased the house for $35 million. Came to us, we ended up saying, add 4,000 square feet because you're going to create value in those additional 4,000 square feet.
What was it when he bought it?
He paid $35 million.
For how many square feet?
For 10,000 square feet. It was 9,300.
All right, so that's expensive per square foot price,
it's the most expensive island it's Indian Creek and Star Island.
Yeah, so $1,000 a square foot's an expensive house, and $3,500 a square foot is real expensive. And now,
so this island, he's next door to the Estefans, across the street from Ken Griffin. P. Diddy's on the island.
All right, let's party.
And when we looked, the comps were $5,000 a foot. So when we look at
to sell it,
so 15,000 square feet is $75 million value.
Right.
We added the square footage. He spent $20 million on the renovation. $55 million. He's in $50 million. Created $75 million in value. I brought him another one of our clients who offered him $100 million, and he said no.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So buys it for 35, adds the 5,000 square foot, gets it up to about a $75 million range, and somebody goes above that, offers $100 million. So then this is also a thing, but you have to tell me.
Because people want turnkey product. They don't want to wait. People do not want to just sit and say.
Right, but here's a question, and sorry for cutting you off, but they'll know it when they see it. Like in the car world, you can go, well, that's a Lamborghini 350 GT 1965, and those things go for, I don't know, between $550 and $600 or something like that, like all day long. But then one will sell for $800. And you'll look at it and you'll go, oh, that one was done right. Like you can see how good that was done.
And that's where the devil's in the details, right? So when you go under the hood and you see that every single component was original is the difference between one and the other. I've had several billionaires tell me that the first place they look at a house is the laundry room.
Right.
And they open the cabinet underneath the laundry room and they see all of the fixtures.
Right.
They see the valves. And if you went cheap on those valves in that back
Angle
end
stops.
Room, that's what you're going to see throughout the whole house.
Yes. No, it is like, I used to say sort of like go to the garage. If you see the world-class cabinets with the full extension Accuride ball bearing, drawer slides and everything, you go, okay, God knows how good this kitchen's going to look. You know what I mean? So you go to the closet, but you're right. You go to the laundry room. You don't just look at the make of the dishwasher, the laundry washer, where you open it up and you get down and you see the plumbing and the wiring and the angle stops and everything. And you go, that's where they could have skimped if they wanted, and they didn't. So they didn't skimp anywhere else.
And that's what we see across the board. When someone already has multiple houses, they want to make sure and when you're building a house, it makes that difference, right?
Right.
Are you going to skimp in the laundry room? Are you going to skimp in the staff quarters? Are you going to cut a corner and have a house in Romex and not an MC cable? I mean, if you see a house done in Romex at this level of a house, it's off the bat, they're cutting corners. So,
you kidding me? I got Chuck in the next room over there. He's telling me this guy's using he's pulling Romex instead of Flex or EMT tubing or any of that. I mean, you see that guy's using Romex? What? He's like, what? That guy's probably not. He doesn't need LBs on that thing, man, because he ain't even pulling wire in that bad boy. Yeah. So you see, right. So if you're working on something and you see Romex coming out, Romex is just a cheap way to wire a house, but if you're building a cheap apartment, you might as well use Romex.
Exactly.
But if you're building a high-end luxury home and you see the Romex, then you got to run. Because a lot of people, they have a thing where it's like sort of back to the car analogy, which is like, well, we'll put a good coat of paint on it, but they're not going to see underneath the car, so we don't have to get all that stuff worked out. It's like, we'll know it, and they'll see it, and it'll scare them. And
that's those 8 out of the 10 clients that we end up having to say no to. So we end up having a lot of the spec builders say, no, Manny, we'll just place this instead of that. And I just said, then we can't build it for you. We're not interested. Right, because it's a little counterintuitive to say, I'm a spec builder, let's say, and I go, well, I want to build the house as cheaply as possible and sell it for the most amount. So I'm going to try to keep the cost down as much as you can, but it's somehow, in doing that, you'll end up hurting your bottom line. You'll hurt your product. Correct. They're being penny wise and dollar foolish. What they should be doing is saying, how do we break a market and how do we make sure everything is the best? Like we did a project, client purchased it for $14 million, spent $10 million with us, and ended up selling it to Jeff Bezos' father, Mike Bezos, for $44 million at $5,000 a square foot, when the average market was $3,000 a foot. Now, It came out in Architectural Digest. It was the most pristine home done. And when they look at every single one of the components, they realize it wasn't a spec builder. It was someone building it for themselves, wanting every detail correct. And they actually created more value doing that. Yeah. And that's what we try to do. And I think spec builders are not realizing that people are not stupid if they're spending $1, $5, $10, or $50 million. And throughout LA, you have a lot of houses that sit on the market for a very long time. Yes. And when you walk them, you realize that there's corners being cut. Not to mention, obviously, the market in California right now is a problem because they're driving people out instead of driving them in. But yes, that's a whole separate topic. They're the opposite of somebody who builds. They make rules and they don't get it. There's a certain pragmatism and practicality that comes with building, and I always tell everybody, Donald Trump is a commercial builder, and commercial builders are always like in a hurry. Like I was talking to
Aaron Shelby, who's one of the Shelby guys, and they're in gas and oil and stuff like that. And he was explaining, I go, well, you're probably happy Trump is in there because he wants us to be independent, drill, baby, drill.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I am. Except for the only problem with Trump is Trump moves so fast that he says this, and then he switches back, and then he's like almost too much of a hurry. He needs to like slow down a little. And I was like, yeah, because he's a commercial builder, and commercial buildings are always like, where are the doors and the windows? And it's like, they're held up 2 weeks. And you go, 2 weeks, we can't do anything with the doors and windows on this thing, you know? And so he's always, and you can see him, when he came here after the fire, he sat down with Karen Bass, the mayor. Karen Bass is a dumb woman who's a communist. She doesn't like building.
She doesn't like productivity.
She doesn't like productivity. She doesn't like anything. So Trump's sitting there, and Trump's like, we got to go. We got to get this going. Let's get it going tonight. People clear their own property themselves. She's like, whoa. Slow it down. Slow it down. He's like, no, come on. Let's go. And she's like, slow, bring it down. And you know, as a builder, it's like you're always sort of a metronome ticking, tick, 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 like kind of in a hurry all the time.
Well, you have to be. So, you know, and Karen Bass is just the idea of not doing something, doesn't realize the repercussions and how it hurts and impacts
she
everyone.
thinks it's a push and it can't hurt if we don't do anything.
Exactly. And staying stagnant is the biggest loss you can have. I do a quick analysis with everyone in our company, and we explain $1 million costs $5,000 a month. You just do a 5% factor. So if you are effectively doing, or you own $1 million house or a $10 million house, a $10 million house is $50,000 a month. That means every single day costs you $1,500 in actual cost of those funds, whether it's paid off.
For the mortgage.
For the mortgage or the carry cost. So
or whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
If it's $1 million, it's probably more than $5,000 a month.
Yeah,
but whatever.
just using the cost value of money. So you'll have someone who bought a house for $300,000. The house is now worth $2 million. That house value is at just a 5%, cost them $10,000 a month in opportunity cost. If they're not finished, it's $500 a day.
Right.
And that keeps everyone always being pushed. I don't understand how the pre-construction process and with Malibu and Palisades and not approving and having, you know, the Cal Green bill and some of the pre-construction items, when you go in depth of the amount of red tape that they're doing in comparison to Florida and Texas, it's mind-blowing how there's no sense of urgency.
You have to ask yourself at the end of the day, if you've ever been with a person that's been this way, where you think you want the same thing. And they always say they want the same thing, you know, because to say the opposite would make them bad at their job or a bad person or evil. But at a certain point, it starts to dawn on you, they don't want what you want. And they say they want it. You know, they say they want all the kids and the schools and safety and stuff, but they close schools down for 2 years. You know what I mean? Like they're worried about all the kids, and they're worried about the brown kids and the black kids and the elderly stuff. But at a certain point, you're like, do you guys care about all? Do you really care about all this? Or do you have something else in mind, but you're saying, you know, Karen Bass, when Donald Trump is going, let's rebuild. Let's clear those lots. Let's get going. She can't go, fuck those people. I don't give a shit. My house didn't burn. And less of them here, better for me. More room for me. Like, she can't say that, but who the fuck knows what she's thinking? Show me, by the way, Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom, speaking of horrible politicians, because I'm having a laugh at all these people revisiting COVID and their role in it. And by the way, Gretchen Whitmer is just I was going to say the female Gavin Newsom, but I'll just say Gavin Newsom because he's the female Gavin Newsom. They're sitting around on a podcast. First off, I don't even know what Gavin Newsom does anymore. Doesn't seem to be in California. He just seems to tour the country going on losers' podcasts. And then they're going to sit down and pontificate about what happened with COVID. And they both seem, even though both of them shut down their states and destroyed their economies, they both seem to be sort of unaware of any hand that they had in this. But let's listen to Newsom, who's now on full, like, tard level 10, and then Gretchen Whitmer is probably maybe worse than Newsom. I don't know. Here it is.
People, it's amazing to me how people don't want to talk about COVID.
Right.
They literally just no one.
Although,
even the critics, like the loudest critics, like,
all right, pause it. Pause for a second. First off, you don't have to agree with everyone who's not making sense. I have no fucking idea what he's talking about, especially the critics don't want to talk about it. All the critics do is talk about COVID. That's all I do. Every fucking critic. We're all taking victory laps because of Fauci and his bullshit email diary. So what do you mean no one's talking about it? And she's like, no. What is he talking about? Number one. I love when he does this. We're going to go to a diner. I need a fake beer to put on my side of the table that I'm not going to drink to pretend like I look like Joe Sixpack. So nobody wants to talk about COVID, disagree, and even the critics don't want to talk about COVID. I don't know where he's getting his information, but I just run it from tops. And then she's like, no. Why doesn't she go, do you have a TV set, Gavin? That's all they're doing. Fox is 24/7. Dunking on Fauci. All right, well, here it is.
People, it's amazing to me how people don't want to talk about COVID.
No.
Right.
They literally
Right.
just,
Yeah.
no one.
No.
Although,
Even the critics, like the loudest critics, like, move on, something else.
Yeah,
Do you feel, do you get that as well?
yeah. Well, I have this, it's
All
like,
right, hold on. Stop it. He just spoke in 100% nonsensical sentence. The loudest critics of COVID are quiet about COVID? That's all anyone's been talking about is what bullshit COVID was. It's a lot of lab leak stuff. It's a lot of Fauci stuff. It's a lot of, Jim Jordan and all these guys are all talking about it. So even the critics aren't talking about the thing they're critical of. Okay, and she's just nodding her head in bovine agreement, as Tucker Carlson used to say. All right, so I have no idea what he just said. I don't think she knows what he just said. She's a dope who's just agreeing the entire time. But here we go. Let's have our dope off.
No one.
Although,
even the critics, like the loudest critics, like, move on.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Something else.
Do you feel, do you get that as well?
Yeah. Well, I have this, it's like it warped my sense of time. Do you know what I mean? It feels like a decade ago.
I know.
Yeah,
in a way, and it feels like yesterday at the same time. It's like it's the strangest phenomenon. I think we all kind of want to put that in the rearview mirror.
What'd you make of Fauci and all that? Did they bring back some of those memories?
Yeah, but and I feel bad for him. I mean, God, people were trying to do the right thing with the information that we had.
I'd love that fucking excuse. No, you two lying, fucking pretentious pricks. You were not. You didn't seek the information. I don't know what. Also, is incompetence really an excuse in a governor or an airline pilot? If I have to hear again, we didn't know anything. We didn't know anything. Well, then get the fuck out of the office then if you don't know anything. Could you imagine? P. Diddy's living room collapsed. The one you added on 10 years ago before we knew about his deeds. And you're like, hey, I'm an incompetent contractor. I don't know anything about stuff.
Well, Gavin Newsom's completely incompetent.
Well, he's saying he's incompetent. He's like, I didn't know. We didn't know stuff.
I mean, to lose $1 trillion in the last 5 years just of income leaving California is insane. And with what happened with COVID was shutting everything down is completely opposite to saying I care about the lower and middle class because you're killing jobs. And what people don't understand is if you don't go to work in construction, you don't get paid. So when people say we're going to have all
I do understand that.
We're going to have all these policies and they say we're going to have these additional holidays to talk about this holiday or this item. Well, all those when you're actually dealing with the workers that are actually working are only being paid for the days they're performing work. So they don't want holidays. That's an elitist mentality that doesn't understand.
The good news is they don't really even take them. But I'll tell you, man, when I worked construction, Christmas was we took a half day. If Christmas was on a Thursday, we took a half day on Wednesday.
Exactly.
We took Christmas Day off, and then we got back on Friday.
Correct.
That's because nobody wanted to be out of the pay for 2 days whatever it was.
And that's what you have to realize, that if you're shutting people down, you're hurting them entirely. And it's ironic, actually. We had 2 big projects with $100 million in work. And I walked into the wine store and I said, you know what? I have to thank Gavin Newsom for this. I ended up buying a bottle of Cade because he owns a bunch of vineyards. I think he's spending more time on his vineyards than he is focusing on anything in California.
So his supposition is the loudest critics of COVID aren't saying anything, which is nonsensical. She agrees, but she's not really agreeing. She just doesn't know what he's saying, and she likes it. And then Fauci's just getting picked on because he didn't know anything, I guess, or we didn't know anything. No one knew it. I just love their ignorance. But I love that they think that the ignorance is an excuse because it's stupid or liar. Now, Fauci lied, and you guys lied too, but your excuse is, no, I didn't lie. I'm just fucking retarded. I don't know how to do my job. So you'd have a guy, and he'd be running through your shop with a forklift, knocking everything over, and you go, are you trying to destroy my building? And go, hey, back off. I just don't know how to run a forklift.
Well, I think, and that's the problem is a lack of accountability.
Yes.
Right? At some point, if you look at COVID and say, we fucked up.
Yes.
And you know what? We fucked up and we have to fix it. And we got $12 billion to fix homelessness in California, but we fucked that up too. Let's at least learn from what Florida's doing, Texas is doing. But no, they're justifying it. And then I think they're following Minnesota and, Tim Walz. I feel like that's their strategy instead of just owning it. And I think when you own something, people could almost look past. They said, you know what? He's a fucking idiot. Great. Let's move on from that. But clearly with Gavin, he's double downing.
Also, could one of you take a sip of one of your beers at some point? Because it's just 2 people talking with 2 beers completely topped off and nobody's touching. It's all set up to make them look normal. I get it.
Well, and the the 5% billionaire tax, what he's implementing now in California is just driving driving major businesses away.
I don't know who advises them, but again, maybe we don't know their end game. Maybe their end game is just squalor and sort of everyone living in it, and that way, look, they want equity, so. There's 2 ways we can do this. We can bring everyone up, or we can just bring whoever's up down. Either way, we're going to be even.
I mean, if you look at they're supporting the DSA and no borders and classless society and bringing everyone down.
Paramount is and Warner Brothers are moving out. So have fun. All right, back to the track. Now, I had a funny situation happen, which is I was at the track all week. While you were with your hoity-toity clients hanging out at
Laguna
RM.
Seca?
Yes, at Laguna Seca. And I had a large race. I had about 50 cars in my race, which is a lot of cars. I would say the whole weekend has like 12 run groups, and different run groups, because they're not going to take all the same cars and put them all in the same place on the same track at the same time. So lots of I went and interviewed Zach Brown, the guy who runs McLaren, the F1 team, and he's got a 69, 70, he's got an old school McLaren, a Can-Am car over here, and then at the other end of his garage, he's got a real modern Indy car. And in between, he's got a crazy Jaguar V12 GTP type car. They're all wildly different cars. And they all do very different times on the track. Yeah. And so they're not going to lump them all in one group. By the way, all Zach's cars are in England. And Laguna Seca is in California. And he comes every year. and he comes with a full crew. And, I mean, 5 guys, maybe 10 guys, blah, blah, blah. But I said, Zach, all your stuff's in England. He goes, yeah. I go, you got to get it out here. He goes, yeah. How much is it to ship a car from England to California? He's like, 30 grand.
Yeah.
Round trip. I go, how many cars you bring? 4. Wow. Okay. Well, you sound pretty committed to this. By the way, that's just shipping. That has nothing to do with the crew and meals and housing and tools and everything else. But anyway, good dude. So I'm in the B sedan run group, which is the 2.5 Trans Am group, and I'm running that guy Pete Brock's car, who you saw in the video. I'm running his BRE Datsun 510 that he built when he had a race team in the early 70s or whatever it is. And they do the mandatory drivers meeting. They always have drivers meetings. And the drivers meetings are a lot of business about this flag means that and that flag means this, and we're going to pull out. You're going to do 2 parade laps, and then the pace car's pulling off, and then we'll grid up. And it's a lot of technical, here's how we're doing it, and take tracks, exit the track after turn 6 and enter it off the whatever lane when you come out and blah, blah, blah. Just a bunch of rules. But then at the end, the guy who runs the B Sedan group, who's a good dude, and he's a friend, he says, I get all the B Sedan guys together. We got to have a talk. And the B Sedan guys, I didn't know, I forgot about this, but Jensen Button, who's F1 champion from a few years back, is in my group. And so is Jimmy Johnson, the NASCAR champion. Yeah. So I go, well, he's got 2 guys who are like serious drivers in this group. And he goes, the guy who runs the whole thing, who I love, he just goes, look, there's 50 cars out there. Let's not have any heroes here. I mean, these are all really expensive vintage cars. People could get hurt. Cars are worth a lot. People are watching us. We want to be invited back next year. Keep it clean, man. Like, no contact. If when in doubt, just give the guy some room. You'll get him on the next lap. Or they have to give lots of speeches about, remember, this isn't a professional sport. Everyone's here for a good time. Everyone wants to take their car back in one piece. There's no insurance on the track. So let's just keep it cool. And you give the speech over and over again, and everyone's like, oh, he's right. We don't need heroes. We're just here to have a good time. There is no winner.
Yeah, it's more of a rally than a race.
Yeah, except for then you take 50 dudes who have their little shitbox B sedan cars and you put them out on the track and they go for it.
Exactly. And that track is, I've been to that track a few times. Actually, we built 2 projects for David McNeil, the owner of WeatherTech.
Oh, son of a bitch.
So I know the track well. So let's check it out.
So you should know that the guy who gave me the safety speech is directly in front of me. Now, he and I go back, and we've had some pretty epic battles at that track. And I go, oh, here he is. He's in a Bob Sharp 610. Beautiful car, just redone. Nut and bolt restoration. And I'm right behind him, and we'll just watch what happens. Through the corkscrew around turn 9, I guess. Coming in the right-hander. Turn 10, starting to gather up some cars. Coming in the front straightaway. At turn 11, down into second. Come around, turning. Car spun out of the crack. He goes wide. Oh, hits the other car. And, well, he played out. Oh, yeah, sorry. He didn't see the guy spun out. He went right, too late, hit him, almost hit me and put me in the wall. I was able to avoid him, and we're going back into the race. All right, so the guy gave the safety speech, hit another guy on the track, but it was not his fault. It should be declared that, but you're a problem solver, and so I'll get you. This is from 1 year earlier, on the exact same corner, and I'm going to problem solve here with you, but I'll show you this. It's me behind an Alfa Romeo, and he's getting squirrely or weird or something, and we come around the corner, and there's another car that's spun out right there. All right, you can stop. So here's what I'm saying. Are you ready? There are flag stations everywhere. And a flag station is just it's a station that's up high. It's around like every corner and everywhere. And the flags will let you know what's going on in front of you on that track because you need to know what lays ahead. Otherwise, you may be coming full speed and some car may be turned over and you don't see it till you come over the hill or whatever it is. That corner has a flag station that's up and to the right. The corner's down and to the left. And everyone who's setting up for it is just looking to the left. If there is a flag, they miss it. Yeah. They come around the corner and are surprised to see a car parked directly in front of them sideways, in which case they hit the car or they have to do something violent to get out of the way. But the problem is there's two other cars next to them, so whenever they do their move, they can hit. Why not put the flag station on the inside of that corner? Because then when people were coming around, instead of looking off into the distance to the right, they just looked down and left. And if you saw a flag going, you know someone was around that corner and was sideways. 2 races in a row, 2 years in a row. I came very close to hitting both cars, but I didn't, but someone else did. But when you say that, like in a building, if you were building, you would solve that problem.
It seems like, it's almost as if Karen Bass was controlling the flag station.
Yes.
But what logic would say is if it didn't work the first time, let's readjust, let's reshift, and that's how you have to do it when you're building a project or building a city or building a state. If something doesn't work, it's okay. Let's just readjust and refocus. And that's what we've been doing on the pre-construction stage. I mean, it blows my mind how it's taking 2 years to get a permit to go back into Malibu.
Malibu, which I've been documented quite closely, is zero building because it's the Coastal Commission, a lot to do with like septic tanks. And here's what you can do to get someone to stop building. You can say, or to do anything, you can kind of go, well, you can't build and we'll never offer you a permit, in which case that makes you kind of a bad person. Yeah. Or you can just make so many hurdles that they could never realistically pull it off. And that's what California does. They just put up so many hurdles that you couldn't possibly pull it off. It becomes impractical.
But it has to be intentional. It cannot be just they're trying to. I believe that what they're wanting to have is not have the rebuild process happen because we re-engineered this the Pini Farina home, designed the whole thing, had both reviewed permits for most cities in the country, and they could start construction to pull a building permit in 60 days anywhere but California.
I will blow your mind while staying on subject. You don't have to show. This is the one house that's being built in Malibu. I'm going to blow your mind while staying very much on subject, Manny. That Shelby Daytona that we just saw go to auction for $43 million. That Shelby Daytona was built in Los Angeles, and it was built in Venice, California, and it was built by Carroll Shelby's company, who moved from Texas. Shelby's a Texan. He moved from Texas to California and L.A. to build cars. And it seemed like a good idea at the time, and that was California circa 1965. Could you imagine any company that manufactured automobiles leaving Texas and coming to Los Angeles today for a better building environment?
Absolutely not.
And that's all you need to know. Manny, where do we send people if they want to find out all that you're up to? And I know you got a book coming out next year as well.
Thank you. And my Instagram is Manny Varas, and the company is at MV Group USA.
Great to meet you, Manny. I love guys who build. And car guys.
Thank you so much, Adam.
We'll take a quick break. Elisha Krauss will do the news right after this. HomeServe, home repairs don't care about timing, and they definitely don't care about your budget. With regular home insurance, you're probably on your own with a lot of day-to-day wear and tear. Plumbing failures, HVAC breakdowns, electrical issues could all be very costly. And that's where HomeServe comes in. For as little as $4.99 a month, they've got your back. Just pick a plan for your needs. And if something goes wrong, call their 24/7 hotline. They've helped homeowners like you for over 20 years with a trusted national network of 2,600 local contractors. I had a water heater issue recently and called them up, and I wasn't freaking out because I knew HomeServe had me covered for cheap. HomeServe gives me peace of mind, and I know you'll love it too. It's HomeServe, right, Dawson?
Join the millions of customers who trust HomeServe for 50% less your first year. Go to homeserve.com/Adam. That's homeserve.com/Adam for 50% less. Savings compared to renewal price. Void in Florida.
Morgan and Morgan. Well, one time a buddy of mine got in an accident. I kept telling him, hire an attorney, help recoup and get compensation. Well, he didn't. And the cost piled up, and he couldn't work for a while. And that's why I encourage people to use Morgan and Morgan. Morgan and Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Well, they got over 100 offices nationwide, more than 1,000 lawyers with over $30 billion recovered by over 500,000 clients. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record. They'll fight for you. You'll get the full and fair compensation you deserve. If you're injured by the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid, and that's when you go to Morgan & Morgan. Am I right, Dawson?
Their fee is free unless they win. Yes, that's right. Their fee is free unless they win. To learn more, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or click the link in the description below. To learn more, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or click the link in the description below. This is a paid advertisement. It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, love the show. Listen to it every day. Chris from Iowa. Got a rich man, poor man for you. Doesn't have life insurance. The super poor don't have life insurance, can't afford it. The super rich don't get it because, well, their inheritance is their insurance. Let me know what you think. Keep it up, man.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Solid rich man, poor man.
I would agree. You know that Dave Ramsey is like kind of anti-life insurance? Well, it's a debate.
Oh, really?
Like kind of his thing is once you become rich enough,
Mm-hmm.
to that caller's point, once you become rich enough, like don't waste money on putting money into life insurance policy.
You get 5 homes.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah.
All right. So I was explaining how tall Tom Brady actually is in the last show.
You got to meet him?
Oh, yeah. We spent some real quality time together.
Do you have a crush on him like Nikki Glaser does?
Oh, I think I do. I mean, look at this man. Now, I am 6'2".
Did you ask him who his plastic surgeon is?
He looks amazing. I'm 6'2" and I'm wearing boots. He is not 6'4". He is not 6'4".
He has to be like 6'6", 6'7"?
Maybe 6'5", 6'6". He's tall. He's not 6'4". It's listed everywhere as 6'4". Everyone says 6'4". I'm 6'2", and I'm wearing a boot with a heel on it, and he's quite a bit taller than me.
No. You don't remove that. You don't want to admit to wearing a boot with a heel. You were wearing a cowboy boot or a fry boot or
I don't even know what it's called.
Boot.
It's got a heel.
You don't say a boot with a heel. That's
boot
like what
with
chicks wear.
I'm wearing what Sylvester Stallone wore in Cobra. So, and I was talking to him, and I was looking up like the whole time. So he's a tall guy.
And you were just enamored. You get why now
I
women
love
are
football.
attracted to tall men.
Well,
they say that like we go googly-eyed when we have to look up.
He was sitting there talking to Jimmy Johnson, and I just stood. I got in between him. I go, cars, football. Those are my 2 favorite subjects. Let's get into it.
You'd woken up and gone to heaven.
On another weird thing, so I never really thought about this, but so Andrew, who was with me at the track, got some pictures of Zach Brown, the guy who runs McLaren's F1 team, and he's got his different
I thought
his
you meant like
different
Zach
cars.
Brown band. I was like, that's cool.
No, he's the Zach Brown who runs McLaren.
Oh, wow.
And so he's got a Jag, which is cool. It's kind of Group C car. I don't want to bog you down. But then the next car, let's see what the next car is. That's an Indy car. But the next car, now this is interesting. So this car is called a McLaren. Mm-hmm. And it was invented and developed by Bruce McLaren. And their colors are like papaya orange. And that was Bruce McLaren's color. And it's kind of interesting because I said to Zach, you work for McLaren. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to drive his cars, if you're going to drive vintage cars and one of them's a McLaren, it has to be this iconic Can-Am McLaren
I like that color.
car that Bruce McLaren basically designed, built, but also, as I had to bring it up to Zach, Bruce McLaren died testing one of these cars.
Oh, no.
At Goodwood in 1970. So you do have to drive a McLaren. It is an iconic McLaren Can-Am car, but also the guy of McLaren, whose name is McLaren, died in this car. Not this exact car, but died testing one of these cars at Goodwood, which is in England, which is interesting. And then I started thinking deeper. Mm-hmm. You know, think about this. In that movie, Ford v. Ferrari.
My only reference to vintage vehicles.
Ken Miles was ahead. They told him to slow down. They wanted to get their photo finished. They ended up giving the race win to the other Ford driver who started like 30 feet behind him. Mm-hmm. And he covered more ground, according to French rules. That other driver was Bruce McLaren.
Really?
Yeah. So McLaren of Bruce McLaren of McLaren was awarded the win to the 24 Hours, and which is the biggest race in the world. And so, but was still dead 3 years later. But Ken Miles was dead 3 months later. And they were both testing cars. So
do people still die in car testing?
It's much safer than
because
it
of
was.
All the technology that we have now?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the guy who gave up his lead and gave it to eventual winner Bruce McLaren died in 3 months testing. And then Bruce McLaren died like 3 years later testing. So I don't know, that whole, who really won that race? Because, it's like, and then also, I don't know, McLaren died in 70. He probably could have never known how huge this company would be.
His brand.
Yes, just McLaren.
How huge and how expensive. I actually saw, now that I know that that's like the McLaren orange, I saw a pretty nice newer McLaren on Moore Park the other day that was that color. And my 3-year-old said, "Look, Mama, a sports car."
Sound like a reporter from the 20s. Simply Safe. Simply Safe is celebrating their 20th anniversary. 20 years ago. I was still a couple of years away from launching my podcast. And I know Simply Safe has grown just like the podcast. They've changed the game in home security. Most systems wait for the break-in, then the alarm sounds off. Simply Safe helps stop the break-ins before they start. I've had moments where I'm not at home, family's around. Feel much better knowing I have Simply Safe there to protect them. Smart AI-powered outdoor cameras detect suspicious activity at the perimeter and alert live U.S.-based agents to step in. Simply Safe's agents assess the threat and they can intervene. They can use the outdoor cameras to scare off the trespassers and call 911 dispatch. You'll sleep better with Simply Safe. I know I do. It's Simply Safe, right, Dawson?
Simply Safe has been protecting your world for 20 years. Celebrate their anniversary with us and save 60% on your new Simply Safe system at simplysafe.com/Adam. That's 60% off at simplysafe.com/Adam. Plus, when you order, write in our show name in the How Did You Hear About Us survey to let them know that we sent you. Don't forget, there's no safe like Simply Safe.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Yeah, they're in the business of keeping your car on the road. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and parts, the knowledge maintenance, repairs, everything you need. It's O'Reilly. I'm prepping a car, and whenever I prep a car, I always go to O'Reilly first. Like I said, they're nice, they're friendly. They held the door for me last time I was leaving. Their team can test your battery for free in or out of the car. They have guys there that are beyond mechanic level. They understand the ins and outs of the car. And if, look, you like cars like I do, you got to talk to the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Your one-stop shop for all things do-it-yourself, and you can find what you need either in-store or online at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right, Dawson?
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
What do you got in the news department?
So the WNBA is still making news.
Yeah, they got to figure out what a woman is, right?
You know the issue that, like, what is it? 2/3 of Americans agree on that men should not play women's sports and vice versa.
Yes.
Although you never really see women signing up to play in the NBA. So there's this mother.
Well, by the way, they could. Like, if a woman ever wants to go out for the boys' team, like high school football, once in a blue moon, you hear some story about a girl went out for the team, you know. You could do it in any high school in America. But they're not going to work. It's not going to succeed, but they could do it. You
women
know what I
have
mean?
brains, and we know that we don't have the physical brawn of dudes, so we're probably not going to do that. Well, there was this mother and this daughter wearing their XXXY athletic T-shirts. I love to wear my XXXY socks like around LA on hikes, and then sometimes I get like winks and nods from people, and then I know they're like my people, like 2/3 of Americans who think that men and women are different.
Yeah.
But anyway, this mother and daughter paid $1,000 per ticket to go see the Indiana Fever versus the Atlanta Dream game at State Farm Arena on Sunday night. Sunday was Sophie Cunningham's 30th birthday, by the way. And Sophie's a good player, but Caitlin Clark is who a lot of people go to see the Indiana Fever for because she's obviously an incredible player. Their ticket sales have gone up like 14%, and WNBA views have gone up, I want to say it was like 20-something%.
I'm surprised. Oh, you're talking about WNBA overall, not just Fever, because I was like, Fever's probably gone up more.
The Fever's ticket sales have gone up 14%. Their ticket sales. I don't know if they have like the viewing of just their games.
That's not a ton. I mean, it's good.
Well,
but I thought it had gone up 50% or something, the way everyone's talking.
I think the views of the WNBA have definitely gone up. So this mom and daughter paid all this money to go to the game. They said that they wanted to see Sophie Cunningham because they respect and admire her. And the back of the T-shirt simply read, "For the girls." Let's hear it for the girls. I mean, wasn't that a famous song?
Yeah.
Apparently, arena staff then gave them two options: cover the shirts or leave. And they were handed shirts to put on over their own T-shirts. Here they are outside of the arena talking about it.
And we were made to cover up our XXXY shirts at this game.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes. They gave us shirts. They gave us T-shirts during overtime.
What's that shirt say? It's two pigs having sex. It says making bacon on it. What the hell were they thinking handing them those two shirts? Am I right, Elisha Krauss?
Am I supposed to get the reference?
Come on, man. The two pigs humping. It says making bacon. It's one of the greatest T-shirts of the 70s.
Okay. All right.
You love that one, don't you, Chuck? Come on. You guys never seen Making Bacon? I had a laborer show up on a job site I was working on when I was doing earthquake rehab work. He was wearing a Making Bacon shirt. I bought it off his back.
Oh, wow.
I was that committed
you still
to
have it?
Probably somewhere.
Somewhere?
Like when people say that, no. I don't have anything.
You always say vintage things. You know they don't depreciate?
I know. So the mom's wearing a shirt that has two X's on top.
Well, it's the XXXY logo. It's their
thank you.
patriotic one.
I'm describing what the mother's wearing.
For those not watching on YouTube.
The mother's wearing a shirt that has two X's on top, then it says athletics, and then underneath it has XY.
Yeah.
Which should not offend anybody of any kind. I don't even know what it... I mean, I get what it is, but I don't know that... 15th... no. I would say 90 9% of people in that stadium have no idea what that's even means in reference to.
They
on
probably
her shirt.
thought it was Roman numerals for like America 250
Yeah, or just people
something.
just wear T-shirts with junk all over it.
Yeah.
Like my son's got a roofing company. This is T-shirt,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. All right, so she's wearing it, and then the other girl, her daughter's wearing a shirt that said something about women's
For
sports.
the girls
For
on
the
the
girls.
back.
Okay, so they both mean nothing. I mean, who cares? They're both. They
Unless
don't
you're a
fall
trans
under the
activist.
heading of anything, right?
No, they're hateful.
Right.
They're hateful. But and I think the biggest part that people are pissed off about here, and rightfully so, is that earlier in the game there was a woman wearing a quote protect trans rights T-shirt and was prominently featured up on the jumbotron.
Yes.
But apparently,
Would you like to examine the Making Bacon T-shirt? You know what I like most about it?
why do you do this? To
Tighten
me?
it up a little.
Tighten it up a little. That's what she said.
Hey, the thing I like most about this is how happy the pig on top is. And,
The one on the bottom is sleeping.
well, sweating, exhausted, because that one pig's gotten the better of the other pig. Now, those could be two dude pigs in your world, Andrew. I don't know. But in my world, they're making bacon, bro. There's also a shirt where two ducks were going at it.
Oh, what was that one? I'm afraid to ask. Actually, never mind.
The two ducks going at it, one from behind.
Ducks who like to.
No,
Oh,
Fly United. Boom, right in the keister again. Probably the same dude. I get the same guy was sitting around going, I need a follow-up to Making Bacon.
now I know what to get you for Christmas. I'm going to go on eBay or Facebook Marketplace after this.
How about we'll go Fly United? It'll be another duck raping a duck from behind midair.
Wait, why is the pink duck raping the male duck?
There's a color version that's better. There you go.
That seems more accurate.
You guys don't know anything about T-shirts because you're too young.
All of our T-shirts now that are popular are memes.
So who cares? And you're not offending anybody. So what? And this double standard is the BS part because they do this all the time. They'll do it all the time. They'll go, we don't allow any of our flight attendants to wear. Really, there's a gay flag on the chick's lapel. Really, we don't allow any kind. No, you don't. You're yelling at someone with American flag.
Yeah.
They got the gay flag, and you have no problem with that. So it's the double standard part that we object to.
I agree. I
As
think
well as the so what for the girls.
for the girls, like that seems like a very feminist message. I would think that at a WNBA game, all of the female players would be like, yeah, for the girls. I'm here
Yes.
for the girls. Like I'm supporting all the girls.
Yes.
Why is that so derogatory or hateful?
It's not. Nothing ever makes sense. All they hear is basically, let me explain. These two voted for Trump. Get them out of here.
That's what they assume.
Yes.
Yeah, I was having a conversation about that earlier today with a girlfriend of mine who's in a very liberal industry here in LA. And she was like, I was at a dinner and people were like ranting about how dumb Spencer Pratt is. And I was like, are you going to vote for the other guys after your house burned down? And I'm like, you don't understand. They're not allowed to ask that question because if they ask that question, they just get labeled MAGA.
Right.
Like the left is so good at shutting down dissent that you're not even allowed to have the thought of dissent.
Sophie Cunningham played for her boys' high school football team as a place kicker.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. Tell that to Kathy Ireland in that 80s movie.
Why are you referencing like
unnecessary roughness?
Okay. It makes sense. I would guess Sophie Cunningham, who's a good athlete.
I thought you were going to say good looking.
And good looking at her age.
30.
Probably played a lot of soccer growing up.
I could see that.
She seems like she probably played a lot of youth soccer.
She's also really tall. Like she could have played volleyball.
And thus could have had a good kicking leg. And also, not everybody, there's not good kickers everywhere at the high school level. Like some guys they don't have guys who can kick, you know. So she was homecoming queen and then suited up and played football that night. That's a
love that.
winner. I don't know, is there any footage of her? There has to be.
That's a story that you would think
high school football footage of her because she was playing in, 2020 or 2018 or something.
I feel like for feminists these days, if it weren't for the trans radicalism, then this would be like a movie. This would be like their new like Disney movie.
Yes.
Like
yes.
This is a Disney story.
So it's a news story about her kicking in, it'd be like 2015 or 2013 or something. Sorry, there's no. Yeah, you can go to the.
They're hugging her, but they're not smacking her butt.
Son of Brian and Kim England. Please give the entire court a big show of appreciation for the service and dedication to Rock Ridge.
Rock Ridge?
What?
So good.
So good.
All right, so this is her kicking extra point, I guess, probably, and then being homecoming. She's homecoming queen of Rock Ridge? Rawr.
She was always pretty. You know, sometimes people go through awkward phases and then they become hot.
Yep.
Then there's the rare people that are just always pretty.
Yep.
It's not fair.
Unfair to the rest of us.
Not fair at all.
Rock Ridge. You know who lived in Rock Ridge? You know the sheriff of Rock Ridge?
You can tell him.
Looking at Andrew. Gene Wilder.
Oh, really?
Blazing Saddles took place in Rock Ridge, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Blazing Saddles was in the town of Rock Ridge.
I would have never. I mean, I love that movie.
Evidently not that much.
Well,
you don't know where it took place.
I only let my children watch the Gene Wilder Chocolate Willy Wonka because the other one with Johnny Depp is just weird.
Uh-huh.
And the one with Timothy Chalamet is meh.
Blazing Saddles has like 128 N-bombs, so maybe that's not for the kids. But she was the kicker from Rock Ridge High School? Is that correct? Okay.
That's what the news report said.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
All right, sorry. Keep going.
Well, speaking of schools, ready to hate on some teachers?
Yeah, I hate teachers. Actually...
You don't hate all teachers.
It is weird. Well, yeah, we say that about Puerto Ricans, too. Here's the thing. I grew up, when you would use the word teacher or nurse, that was a substitute for a saintly person who is so giving and so awesome and magnanimous.
Sacrificial and...
Yeah, like if you're doing a sitcom and you're going like, the one guy's girlfriend is mean, you'd make her an agent. Or a designer or something like that.
Or a traffic cop.
Right. And then the one girl, but that's not a traditional woman job. But anyway, we're spitballing. But if the one, you'd make her an agent or a designer, like a snooty designer. But if the other guy's girlfriend was supposed to be cool, you'd make her a nurse or a school teacher because she's so much more down to earth. She's a much better person. Now, I've learned since COVID that nurses and school teachers are the worst people our society has to offer.
Throw in some doctors there, too.
Yes, go ahead. Well, doctors turned out to be cowards, which is the scary part.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so Kanisha Daly is a special ed teacher at Mater Unified in California.
Mater, that was the name of the tow truck from the movie. Keep going, baby. I got a reference for everyone.
I just botched that. That was a mom moment.
Oh.
Madura Unified. I thought it was like something, you know how we're LAUSD? And I thought it was, okay. Anywho.
Madura was the name of the town in Scarface that he hailed from in Cuba.
What is all these movie references
I made
today?
that one up.
Did you just spend your night watching movies?
Madura was the name of the vax I got against my will.
That's right.
Touche. All right, so she posted this video saying that she's going to start a certain group. You can guess what certain group
Black
to rob
something?
some white people.
Okay. When I see, I know you don't like discussions of race. When I see the nose pierced, that's bad. When I see the septum pierced with the hook from the one nostril to the other, that's bad.
But for the record, and I'm going to say something that might get me canceled, you typically see that on white liberal women.
Yes,
that's
I
not
know.
a black liberal woman.
I
look.
agree, but when you see it on black, you better run because now we're supersized right here. All right, so she's a teacher.
Yeah.
All right, she's got a plan. Here it is.
Today, I'm starting a black militia. So if you're black, if you want to shoot some guns, come find me. We're going to rob some white people. And I see that people are fighting back against ICE, and I believe that is powerful. I know that people want a revolution. They want things to change, and I support that. So if you're calling for a revolution, I support that. But just look at history and know what could be at stake. Start.
Is that a call to violence? Because that sure as hell seems violent rhetoric to me.
Yeah, I don't. We did a thing where we sort of convinced black people it was sort of okay to be sort of racist in one direction because the only kind of racism that really existed was white people being racist toward black people. Mm-hmm. So since it's impossible for a black person to be racist against a white person, which is something we convinced people of like 20 years ago, they just sort of took it and ran with it. I don't like. You get rid of ICE. Is anyone's life change in any way for any and get any better if you just said, hey, I have a magic wand. All right, listen, I'm a liberal. Okay, liberal dumb shits. You in the Democratic Socialist Party and whoever you might be talking about, Hassan Pike or whatever. It's like, okay, you have a magic wand. Yes, it works immediately. Yes. You can get rid of ICE immediately. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, doing, ICE gone. You can get rid of all barriers at the border and any barrier to anyone entering this, gone. Okay, calling Dr. Bombay. You can abolish all prisons. You don't have to abolish prisons. You just hit it, and everyone that's in prison is just going to be standing on the ground now.
The wrongfully incarcerated.
Yeah, I hope you're not on the toilet when Hassan Piker uses his magic wand. Okay, let's just say you took all the money from all the people that have a net worth more than $100 million. You took whatever after that, you took it, and whatever it was beachfront property in Malibu or Miami or Rolls Royce, and you just you would liquidate it. And
Amazon never existed, because don't forget Amazon's evil.
All the money would just go to anybody who chose not to work, and then you can use it. Get rid of Amazon. Get rid of the internal combustion engine. Do you think we'd have a better fucking society when you were done with your retarded wand? Do you? Do you think things would be better? It would just be it'd be better. There'd be and everyone would be follow Sharia law. We'd have Islamist teachers and mosques everywhere. We'd all be praying 5 times a day. Do you think we'd be in a better place with your fucking retarded wand? And if the answer is no, then what are we talking about? Does anyone really think we're just going to get rid of everything?
But here's the thing is, like, for all of those scenarios that you laid out, we do have smaller, thank God, smaller, not larger examples and statistics to show that their ideas don't work.
Yes. It's weird that argument cannot be successfully made, but it's not being successfully made because we're arguing against a religion more than a logic. And the religion doesn't involve God or Allah or anyone else. It's just a kind of a belief in something that doesn't really exist. It's sort of like the environmental
fear-based belief.
Yeah, the environmental movement is kind of a religion,
That's
and there's an apocalypse that's coming that never shows up. And they make fun of all the people who think there's an apocalypse coming, but they're the ones who are shouting most about the apocalypse. All right, what else you got? She's a dope. She should be fired, by the way.
I would not want her teaching children special ed. Do
Mm.
you think she has, like, the calmness? I mean, I have 4 children, and I just volunteer at Sunday school at our church, like, once a month, and I barely have the patience for that. Like, how does a woman with that level of rage, I think it would be fair to ask, like, how does she treat, Hispanic kids or Asian kids or white kids in her classroom?
Well, if you're going to say out loud, essentially, you don't like white kids, then I don't know how you could prevent yourself from treating them a separate way than all the other kids.
Right.
All right, let's see.
Ready to talk about Margaret Cho?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so not the bee is asking, does Margaret Cho really think that trans jokes kill trans people? Quote, just when you thought you'd heard it all, the wokest comedy take of all time. You get comedian like Margaret Cho out here to lecture you on what she thinks is funny. And apparently jokes about trans people are not only funny, not funny, they are deadly.
scary. And it's really scary. And the way that our government treats trans lives with just, insane bathroom laws and identity laws for taking people's driver's licenses.
Stop it. It's the guys nodding feverishly. Insane bathroom laws.
You love the nodders.
I love them more than the actual liars. I love the nodders. Because it's one thing, if I was like walking down the street and a guy walked up to me, homeless, with a load in his pants, and started talking about aliens and Jews and Hitler's still alive and he's living with Elvis, he's nuts. But if I'm looking at him going, yeah, good point. In a weird way, I'm nuttier than he is.
Yeah, I would avoid both of you.
Because I don't have a load in my pants. All right, so he's nodding because the bathroom laws, by the way,
What bathroom laws?
I didn't even know that they're bathroom laws. It's just that's the boys' room and that's the girls' room. But okay, here we go.
Laws and identity laws are taking people's driver's licenses.
Where?
It's just, it seems endless, whether it's legalizing conversion therapy, Supreme Court on down, you have all of these things that, we're in the middle of a trans genocide and we have to do anything that we can to stop it. We have to make sure that trans people are safe and then start working on restoring equality to their lives.
I think a lot, I'd see if Margaret Cho has kids. I think a problem, women need kids. Otherwise, they just start going fucking batshit crazy later because they need stuff to worry about.
Who can't have children? I don't
think they go as crazy. I think they go less crazy. The women who can't have children.
Oh, because they still value children? And
they have a mindset that's like more traditional, and that's just a sort of biological event. It's the ones that go through their whole life with no kids, they go nuts when they're older. Everything becomes their kids, or no one becomes their kids. Margaret Cho.
I think that's for men and women just like on the left that don't have traditional monogamous kind of values.
Face Off has no kids. Yeah, I know. Kids kind of keep you in some sort of world of like not, some reality
where you're not selfish and isolated in an island, and like the world doesn't just revolve around you.
Yeah,
like
and
for women,
there's plenty of men who work that way as well.
100%. I think that for men, like when you have another human to take care of, other than your baby mama, but like when you have this like innocent thing to protect and provide for, it creates a level of responsibility and maturity.
Yes.
And then for women, and obviously we're more nurturing and emotional and caring and like consistent and needed specifically. Like the first couple years of a kid's life, it does shift you.
Yes. What's on the screen that I can't really make out that you're trying to tell me, Andrew? Get more detail. I can't tell if he's making a joke or something he wants to get to.
She also said that she thinks that trans lives have become a very big thing in comedy, and they don't understand that when you take trans lives lightly in a comedy routine, trans people die.
First off, what trans people dying is basically the same bullshit as cops shooting unarmed black people. Like, it statistically doesn't really exist, and when it does happen, black people kill black people, and then boyfriends or families, if members or black people kill trans people. It's not, I don't know, you think somebody's watching Bill Burr with their wife in Kentucky and then leaves because he made some trans jokes and then goes and kills a trans person.
I don't know if that case.
That doesn't exist. By the way, if it ever existed, rest assured, we know about it because you guys would never stop talking about it.
It would be on the news more than the USS Lincoln.
It'd be 100% Emmett Till. All right, what do you got? You got one about the Titanic.
Yeah. Are you interested in this story? I feel like it's like a nothing burger, but we'll let the
Not
audience
according
decide.
to Andrew.
Oh, okay. There's this family theme park that's been slammed over their quote-unquote disrespectful Titanic ride for kids, but the owner is refusing to cave to the woke brigade. So we have some images of this. Apparently they're in, get it, deep ship. Haha, California Post, we see what you did there. A farm in the UK has been ripped as distasteful by parents after rolling out a children's ride model after the Titanic. The unsettling attraction is located at the Gravely Fruit Farm in Hitchin in the UK, which opened in 1981 and features berry picking, a playground, and other family-friendly pursuits. Sounds like Underwood Farms.
Hitchin'. That was that 80s movie about a guy who was hitching a ride and a serial killer picked him up.
Okay. For just under $3 a pop, children can hop aboard a replica of the ill-fated ocean liner where tickets are handed out as boarding passes on the cruise and the ship's name is clearly visible on the side. And then I guess it like lifts up and then deposits them on a crash mat. Like
they roll down.
Uh-huh.
I like this. I know the movie's called The Hitcher, but I couldn't come up with anything that had hitch.
You couldn't say hitching around.
Well, there was a Will Smith movie called Hitch.
That was, yeah. That's a
where
good
he's
one.
setting up Kevin, what's his name?
Not Kevin Hart.
Kevin White Guy.
Kevin White Guy.
Oh, God.
And they do the little dance.
Yeah.
And Eva Longoria is in it, and she's stunning as always. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not Eva Longoria. That's the other one.
You're right. It's Ryan Gosling's wife, Eva Mendes.
Kevin James.
Kevin James.
Yeah.
We're just real bad with the names today.
Yeah, and that's right. It's what's her name? Who'd you just say?
Eva Mendes.
Eva Mendes, not
Ryan
Longoria.
Gosling's.
I know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Both hot Evas, okay?
Yeah. Kind of
So
a
you're okay with
watchable movie.
It's a great movie.
Cute.
We don't make good rom-coms anymore.
You're right. We don't. Let's
Reese
start doing
Witherspoon
that.
is definitely on the left, but she said something recently on a podcast that I was listening to, and she was like, young people today need to watch like old sitcoms and old rom-coms
Mhm.
because they need to learn how to face rejection, like relationship rejection.
I'm going to rom-com about two rival ranchers, but they come together over their love of smokewood bacon, and it's called Makin' Bacon. And I already got the T-shirt worked out.
It could be a Lifetime Christmas movie.
Mhm.
Hallmark Christmas movie.
All right, Elisha Krauss.
Yes, sir.
That'll do it. I'm going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, doing Hyenas. That'll be this Thursday, and Friday I'll be in Albuquerque again, doing the same place. Same club, 7 to 9:30, Hyenas. Then Tucson at the Rialto Theater. That'll be Saturday. You go to amcroll.com for all the live shows. What do you got?
Check me out over on Daily Wire and on the Abe News Network on YouTube for my thoughts on all the things.
Until next time, Adam, for Elisha and Manny, saying mahalo.